This program is not made for kids. It includes swearing and mature themes that are not suitable for kids under the age of 13. Enjoy the fucking video.
This program is rated 14 plus and may contain mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
You serious? Mr. Melvin wants me back?
Indeed. Their heavy freight team is having some trouble keeping up with the demand of freight over on the other side of the pond. And when Sir Melvin heard that you haven't operated since your return back to the Homeland Rail, he asked to repurchase you and the necessary parts for a thorough restoration.
How much does it come up to?
At least a grand total of 2 million.
Which in British currency, that's 1,480,480 pounds. Mr. Melvin has that kind of money?
He said he would dip into the tourist fund and pay out of pocket if needed.
Sir, is there any way you can cover some of the funds?
We are covering the transportation fees till you get to the island of Sodor. Plus, that was his choice. He wanted to do it.
Hank sighed worryingly.
Listen, if all those stories you told the visitors are true, then Sir Melvin will find a way to get you back into service. Now go get some rest. Herbert will be here tomorrow morning to get you ready for the interchange with Norfolk Southern at 11.
So Hank did. At 0600 hours, Herbert, the CNE-10A, arrived with a flat car and the caboose.
Morning, Hank. Rise and shine. Time for you to leave Strasburg and travel back to your real home.
What are you talking about? America's my real home, land of the free.
What I mean is a home that you ran on for decades. I mean, you're lucky. I haven't been back to Canada since 1965.
Canada can't beat the good old independent country. But I guess you're right.
Meanwhile, on Sodor, Murdoch was waiting for his train at Knapford Harbour. He couldn't stop thinking about what Lord Lucas had said to the heavy freight team.
Hunk. Hey, Dennis!
Yeah?
Do you know who Hunk is?
Hunk?
I will take that as no. Lord Lucas was telling Henry and Hero that Mr. Melvin had an engine coming.
An engine named Hunk? That sounds exciting.
Only the engine is coming from the States.
The USA? Murdoch? Hang on 1 second. I don't think Lucas was saying Hunk. I think he was saying Hank.
Indeed he was, though it was meant to be a surprise.
Sir, is Hank coming back? Oh, please say he's staying full time.
Calm down, Rosie. Yes, he will be coming and staying here full time. We've managed to acquire all the parts needed to restore him and repair him properly. But right now, Mr. Hugh, the works, and I are at an impasse about either rebuilding him into a new NWR-style engine or restoring him into his current condition.
Sir, you have to...
We've ultimately decided to let Hank choose his fate. And that's what we will do, to support him in any decision he decides to choose.
This made Rosie a bit skeptical of the return of her best friend. At Lehman Place Junction, Hank was waiting impatiently for the big move to the port of Mobile. The Norfolk Southern diesel named Nolan had arrived, like Herbert said, but they hadn't moved from the interchange track to the main line.
What's going on? We should have left already.
Waiting for track clearance. Norfolk Southern doesn't own all the Northeast Corridor rails. These tracks are mainly owned by Amtrak. We're just waiting for an OCS train to pass.
Wait, Amtrak is still around? And what is an OCS train?
Yes, they're still around, and an OCS train stands for Office Car Special. Usually important company executives use it to get around to important events or conduct business on the rails.
Huh, never heard of such a thing.
As soon as the OCS train passed Nolan, the Norfolk Southern diesel and the hospital train set off down the line. Hank was surprised that so many people lined the fences and crossings just to see him off.
Interesting. Not many people are often cheering for a diesel engine pulling vintage equipment.
Hey now, don't tell me I'm getting old just yet. But I get your point. I mean, when I used to work for the Pensy Railroad, everyone was just so mad about us steamers. Except when it came to racing the New York Central's 20th Central Limited, boy did the passengers we were carrying cheer us on. Shame that most of the engines are not around anymore.
But most of the rolling stock is.
Pretty soon, the journey had come to an end for the first night. Nolan pulled into the yard and parked next to Hank.
It was a true honor to be a part of taking the veteran to his new home.
You're not staying with me for my journey?
Fortunately, no. I have to take it in the model train to Arkansas. But don't worry. I hear my buddies, the Heritage Units, are taking you to Altoona, Pennsylvania to visit your old home before you leave forever.
Well, I'll be. Thank you, Nolan, for the company and all that you do.
Nolan blasted his horn and oiled away, leaving Hank to enjoy the rest of his night.
Woo-hee! Good morning. Rise and shine, old-timer. Well, you got an early day today.
What on earth? Who are you?
Penny's the name, and this is my friend Paul Conrad. We will be your escorts to Altoona, Pennsylvania, and the rest of the way to the harbor.
Hank looked at the diesels and was fascinated by the colors of their livery.
I knew Pennsylvania Railroad was no more, but what's with the paint? And why does your friend Paul Conrad wear the livery of Penn Central? Was there a railroad before the PRR?
Paul Conrad laughed.
In 2012, Norfolk Southern wanted to pay tribute to the railroads that came before them, and thus selected a few diesels to wear paint schemes of our past predecessors. And Penn Central was the railroad after your merger between NYC and PRR.
You mean to tell me New York Central and Pennsylvania Railroad merged to becoming this unholy creation?
Afraid so. It sadly became one of the most bankrupt railroads in America.
I wouldn't be in surprise.
Well, now that introductions are all out of the way, we will be heading to Altoona for an overnight museum fun, and maybe get a chance to see that Day Out with Thomas event that's going on that everyone's so happy about.
Thomas is in America? I gotta go see him.
Sadly, no one bothered to tell Hank that the Thomas engine was,
Dummy.
Sorry, Hank. I thought you knew. Being that you're on the Strasburg Railroad property, and seeing that dummy model, should have red class lights down your funnel.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, don't take it personally. I thought I was going to be restored and back on the main line for the time.
True that. My name is Hank, by the way.
I'm Andrew.
What railroad did you serve before coming to Atuno's workshop?
ATSF.
ATSF? What the heck are you doing out east here?
Well, before being put into storage, I used to pull private trains for the CXS and assist with passenger trains for Amtrak. But like all vintage diesels at the time, I was put into storage because my engine couldn't perform well. time went on and Amtrak couldn't bother to restore me. So I was sent here to be restored. Or so I thought.
Hank looked at Andrew sympathetically and knew he wanted to help him. That night, while Hank was being shoved into place for the move out the museum, he asked the curators of the museum to contact the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania and the Strasburg Railroad for a favor. Next morning, Andrew was thrilled to hear the news.
Wait! What? This is amazing! Hank, you did that for me?
I may have just met you today, but you deserve a chance to operate just like me, and my friends at Strasburg will take good care of you. You must keep in touch, though, and maybe you'll visit me on Sodor one day.
I will happily take you up on that offer, but we'll definitely be pen pals, Hank. Thank you so much! Until we meet again!
Hank smiled. The rest of the journey went off without a hitch. Locomotives, cars, even Nicholas the 765 all said their goodbyes to Hank as they finally reached the port of Mobile.
Good luck on Sodor, Hank.
Be safe out there and remember your American spirit, Hank.
Hank teared up as he was loaded onto a ship bound for Sodor. As Hank touched wheels on the ship, the workmen were scrambled everywhere.
Everything all right, mister?
We're having trouble finding some spare chains to keep you stable. Found some, boss.
Are you sure that's the best you have? They don't look fit for the job. Just saying.
It's all that we have. And we've got to act now if we want to bring you to Sodor on time.
But when Hank saw the chains, they looked quite old and rusty. This made him feel a bit uncertain. The ship soon set sail. It was a very chaotic journey with waves looking almost as big as the Pennsylvanian mountains. For poor Hank, the trip felt like an eternity, but after 3 whole months, the ship was on the home stretch to reaching Sodor. At Brenton Docks, there was a huge welcome party waiting for Hank despite the bad weather. The engines didn't mind, they were all too giddy with excitement to notice, especially Rosie.
I can't believe he's almost here. Do you think we'll notice anything different? I wonder what rebuild we'll choose. Do you think...
Rosie,
Sorry, sir.
I'm happy that you're looking forward to catching up with Hank. But he's been through a lot of transport to get here. He'll probably be exhausted from his journey. You can welcome him back all you want, but at least give him some time to be, secured.
Yes, sir.
Huh? Structure? I probably don't know what that word means anymore. Oh, look at the time. I see Uncle Sam's ship coming in.
And Hank's ship could see the docks.
Good news, Hank. We're just about to reach the docks.
Yeehaw! Suddenly, the ship was hit with a huge wave. Then there was trouble. After so much pressure from all the rough riding, Hank's old chains finally snapped, and Hank began to rock and roll all over the place.
Bless my America, what's going on?
Stop that ship!
As if by great fortune, the waves had calmed down, and the ship stopped just in time before Hank went overboard. But it wasn't all good, as Hank was now hanging on the front end of the ship.
Holy Grand Canyon, any sudden movements and I'm done for.
Everyone at the dock saw what happened and went into full-on panic.
Oh god, what do we do? What do we do?
I've got this, chaps.
Came a voice, and Harold the helicopter flew by with Top Hat following behind.
Harold!
Don't worry, Hank. I'm going to try and lower you onto Top Hat's car ferry. Lower the hoist, Captain!
The pilot wasted no time. He lowered Harold's hoist and the workmen carefully fastened Hank in. Harold took in a deep breath and began to lift Hank off the edge of the ship. Hank was very heavy. Suddenly, Harold's engine began to strain.
Oh, golly!
Hang on, chap. I've got you.
Everyone watched with worry. Harold refused to let the sheer weight take him down. He held onto Hank for life. Finally, after a huge strain, Harold safely lowered Hank onto Top Hat's barge.
Well done, Harold.
Oh, jolly good show.
As Hank was brought back to shore, the engines let out a huge cheer. Cranky soon had Hank back on dry rails.
Hank, are you okay?
I am now. Whoo-wee! I thought I was a goner.
You and me both, old chap. You are heavier than a net of mail sacks.
I heard that!
3 cheers for Hank and Harold.
And the docks erupted into a chorus of cheering whistles for Hank, the American engine.
All right, back to my airfield. Over and out.
It's very good to have you.
Good to be back. Sorry, Salty, traveling the sea has never been my favorite.
It wasn't long until Asher and Patrick collected Hank and sent him on his way to the Steamworks.
I overheard the workers. They've got big plans for you.
Let's pray they don't temper with my red, white, and blue too much.
I found the best way to solve your worries is to talk it out.
Good idea. We'll see what's in the store.
At Wellsworth Station, the cavalcade had to wait for the express. There was a long line of engines waiting as well. Pip and Emma were very late.
Ah, darn it. The traffic here is worse than Detroit.
What's the holdup? My fish will surely spoil.
My passengers are sure to complain.
My battery's about to die.
My swerves are rusting.
Hey, Miss Michelle.
We've missed Hank's arrival for this scrap? You mean Hank?
This is not doing it right.
Shut up, Burgess.
Just then, Pacific chuffed out of the yard with news.
Great news, everyone! Ryan has picked up Pip and Emma and has taken them to Maron Siding. You all have the clear signal to proceed to your normal jobs.
That's great news.
Pretty soon, the backlog of engines cleared up, and the hospital train continued its journey up to the Steamworks.
Welcome back, Hank!
Thank you, Ryan.
At the Steamworks, Mr. Melvin, Mr. Hughes, and Victor were waiting for them, with a worried look on their faces.
Asher told me there was a surprise waiting for me. I assumed it would be about my E and my shape.
Indeed it does. You see, I feel it's economically wise to rebuild you into a Garrett locomotive. You would fit the UK standards for when traveling to the mainland and still continue your duties as a heavy freight engine.
It would also give me a chance to be an articulated engine as well.
But I feel it would be a disservice to you and your heritage to being an American engine imported from the States to Sodor.
I see what you mean, sir, but remember, you brought me here to work for you again, not myself. So I'm going to ask you, Victor, what is your opinion on the matter?
Well, my friend.
That night in the sheds, Rosie couldn't sleep. She was worried about her friend, and the rebuild and/or restoration was going to start.
Hard time sleeping?
Sorry, did I wake you, Chester?
No, the moon is out, so I like to stare at it before I go to bed. What's on your funnel, however?
It's Hank. I heard Mr. Melvin saying something about rebuilding him into a UK standard engine, but I don't want him to be rebuilt.
Why, it's not like Hank's new form will affect you.
But to me, it felt like I wasn't the only American-built engine on Sodor. And now that I wasn't alone on the island, truth be told, I'd often felt like I'm an outsider compared to all the engines here. And I know that sounds selfish of me, but for once, Hank made me feel that I'm not the only engine out there in the world in a different place.
Tell me something, Rosie. Is Hank's mind being rebuilt as well?
No.
Has Hank decided on what he's gonna do when he came back?
No.
Is Hank the same old person still?
Yes.
Hank shows a rebuild. Only his form will change, not his mind. He's still the same old engine with great, amazing stories, I hope.
Rosie smiled warmly.
I guess you're right. Thank you for cheering me up, Chester.
Weeks passed and Hank was still at the Steamworks. The workmen were removing so much rust and corrosion that Hank's tender and boiler had to be shipped to Germany to be refabricated to meet Sodor's demands. But finally, after so many hours of refurbishment, Hank was back together and operational.
My friends, I present to you Hank, the PRRK4 engine.
The heavy freight team, Rosie and Thomas, were shocked. Out popped Hank, fully restored to his original Sudrian looks and shapes.
Whoa, Hank, you look snazzy.
What made you decide to keep your shape?
Thank Victor.
I suggested that Hank keeps his original shape, but have Barrow and Furnace strengthen their tracks so that Hank can interchange goods trains from there.
It was a win-win for everyone.
Rosie beamed from buffer to buffer. She was really happy to have Hank back on Sodor. Rosie beamed from buffer to buffer. She was really happy to have Hank back on Sodor. That evening, a welcome party for Hank was held at Knapford Yard. Most of the engines attended, even Hastings D199 and D261.
Why is he here?
Mate, I'm not even sure what I'm doing anymore.
I wanted to say thank you, everyone, for welcoming me back. I know it's been a while and things have changed, but I'm truly looking forward to working with you all, and hopefully hearing some good stories along the way.
I couldn't have put it better myself.
The engines cheered as they enjoyed the rest of the party. And as for Hank, he felt more love returning to his home he had called for so long.
All right, Henry, you're good to go. Yo, John, we're down to our last batch of coal. Any more coming from the mainland? I believe Murdoch should be down with a year's supply of coal, but it's getting dangerous to order more coal from the mainland. More mines are closing, and pretty soon, Sodor will be in trouble. Hey, you guys remember when Sodor had its own supply of coal? No. Oh, we did. It used to be up in what was known as Great Waterton, but now known as Muffle Mountain.